Amazon says it's considering its options after the Pentagon's surprise decision to award a $10 billion cloud computing contract to Microsoft. Amazon had been considered the front runner. The Department of Defense insists the process was conducted fairly, but a new book alleges that President Trump told his Secretary of Defense to screw Amazon. Joining me now, we've got Daniel Ives, the Managing Director of Equity Research at Wedbush Securities. He says Amazon may challenge the Pentagon decision in court, and if it does go to court, who will have the upper hand here?
Yeah, I mean, I would just view it as noise. I mean, even in court, it could delay it a few months, but ultimately, I mean, this was the grand prize for Microsoft to win Friday night.
Absolutely. Okay, so there is this concern that, the White House meddled in some way. And when you see this kind of interventionist talk, even if it's just allegations, it does raise concerns that you've got the government putting a hand in private sector deals, right?
Look, I mean, what I can tell you is, I mean, I followed this deal closely the last few years. I mean, this has been one of the most vetted deals from a technology perspective that I've seen 20 years covering tech.
Did this shock you, though, because Amazon was the front runner?
Well, look, Amazon, if you go back a year ago, 80% chance Amazon's going to win this deal. So Microsoft really, rolled up their sleeves from a technology perspective, got up to where, Amazon was, at least from a level 6 clearance. But ultimately, this became a street fight in terms of between Amazon and Microsoft. And look, this was the grand prize. For Microsoft to win this, I would characterize it as the biggest cloud deal ever. It's a major black eye for Bezos and Amazon.
Yeah, I mean, is this an ego thing as well? Battle of the billionaires to get this cloud deal. I mean, do you think that that's kind of playing out in the background?
Well, I think, look, I mean, you look at Amazon, second headquarters, Crystal City, shadows of the Pentagon. I mean, Bezos, this was going to be the grand prize, really a trophy to put on the pedestal. And instead, they're going back to the drawing board. And right now, there's been champagne being popped in Redmond. And that's why when you look at it, Microsoft, for them, this really is a paradigm changer in terms of cloud computing, in my opinion, over the next 5-10 years, tilting toward Microsoft.
Which is crazy to think, because Amazon, in fact, is a leader within the cloud space. They want to pump, over $1 trillion into this division of their company over the next few years. So the question is, who was the best company to win this deal and that could execute something like this for the DoD?
Look, I think both companies, if you look at their success within the Beltway, both easily in terms of AWS as well as Azure had the platforms to be successful. But I'll tell you right now, if you look at Amazon, the last 4 or 5 years shot out of the cannon. I mean, they went really $200 million in federal to $2 billion plus. But Microsoft, it came down to that Azure platform, what they've done in terms of building out throughout the Pentagon, a lot of hand-holding. And in my opinion, really, for Nadella at Microsoft, probably one of the biggest achievements as CEO.
Absolutely. Okay, so we saw what the share prices are doing today. Both companies are in the green, but Microsoft is up over 2%. The reality is this is going to be a good long-term deal for Microsoft. But if this does go to court, what does that mean for both companies? And you were talking about it being noise, but of course, then it's going to just create more uncertainty.
Sure. It could delay the timing a bit, but I could tell you, and I could think maybe a 1 to 2 months in terms of the courts. We think this adds about $10 per share to Microsoft. Wow. So I think this is something where it's going to be fuel in the engine in terms of cloud. And for Amazon, they're going to continue to be massively successful, as well as Oracle, IBM, and others in the cloud. Take a step back, $100 billion is going to be spent, in our estimate, in the federal government over the next decade moving to cloud. But when you look at JEDI, this was the grand prize that Microsoft
Are you buying Microsoft stocks on the back of this?
Yeah,
what are you doing?
In my opinion, the opportunity here is to own Microsoft on this. I think the street's not giving enough credit for JEDI, and I think this is a name you could see $160, $170 per share.